Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kathleen from Australia Visa Link. We are very happy today and would like to thank you for joining us. We are pleased to deliver this seminar to you, to those who are interested to join MINT program. Why choose Australia Visa Link? About us, Australia Visa Link is an Australia-based and registered migration and education agency established in 2009. Our headquarters is in Melbourne, and we have branches in Sydney and Hong Kong. We're providing all types of immigration and student visas application services. For today's seminar, I firstly will introduce the policy and the criteria of the MINT program, application process, and the fees. FAQ sections, I will invite my colleague Raymond to join us. And also, we have invited an Australian CPA, Zell, who will give us a comprehensive introduction of Australian tax system. If you have any questions about the MINT program, please feel free to type your questions at the dialogue below. The Migration Innovation Northern Territory MINT program is owned and managed by the Darwin Innovation Hub and the Paspalis Asset Management and supported by the NT state government. The program offers offshore migrants who have a genuine intention to live and migrate to the Northern Territory, take the opportunity to obtain concessional benefits and the priority processing of state nomination for the skilled and business visa programs. The MINT program is commenced on every 1st of July. It has a total of no more than 50 visa nomination places, with any combination of subclass 190, 491 visa nominations under the General Skill Migration Program, and subclass 188 nomination under the Business Innovation and Investment Program. In last program year, we have successfully submitted 26 MINT applications, including 22 for subclass 190 and the rest for the subclass 491. This year, we have successfully submitted 29 MINT applications so far, which including 27 for subclass 190 and 2 for subclass 491. You may notice that there is still a small amount of quota left for MINT program in this fiscal year. It still will continue accepting and processing application until this financial year ending. It usually will take around 3 to 4 months of the whole process, including lodging state nomination, making investment, processing of the AML check until the EOI invitation received. Under the current difficult migration climate of Australia, and every other states are not inviting any offshore migrants, I would like to ask you to consider about this program and encourage you to take this opportunity to secure your 190 visa places. We are one of the authorized panel agents of the Migration Innovation Northern Territory MINT program. For the eligible skilled applicants, you are required to invest 515,000 Australian dollars in the designated Paspalis Innovation Investment Fund. 80% of the investment fund will be invested in the NT state government bond, which should provide a stable but low-risk return on investment. The another 20% will be invested in the early stage and emerging companies, which will be a high risk and high return. Applicants must meet the following requirements: demonstrate you will live in the Northern Territory, resident in the Northern Territory, and meet the standard genuine intention criteria put in place for all applicants. Demonstrate you have a clear understanding of what the criteria are and what your obligations are. Have sufficient funds of your own for settlement. Provide accurate applications and informations. Must disclose all relevant information as required. Meet the Australian government threshold criteria and submit nomination application through the relevant application process within 60 days of signing the agreement with past party groups. Here is a requirement of subclass 190 or 491 from Immigration Department. As the applicant, you will need to be nominated by the state or territory government, pass the skill assessment, and also you have a nominated occupation on the priority occupation list of NT state government. Submit an EOI application, and the total points will need to have 65 in total, including 5 points from 190 state nomination and 15 points from 491 state nomination. There has an age limit. The male applicant's age limit will need to be under 25, and any dependent children will need to be under 23. Also, they have a requirement for the standard English requirement. For the main applicant, you will need to have at least 4 of 6 of the IELTS test as competent English, and the result is valid for 3 years only. Also, for all the applicants in this application, everyone will need to meet the requirement for the health check and the criminal check. There's no visa refusal or cancellations, and have commitment to live in this state or territory for 3 years. For the business and innovation program, since it has quite different criteria among each stream, if you are interested in this, please contact me after the seminar for more information. For the skilled migrants, you will need to meet the following requirement. First of all, you will need to meet the threshold requirement designed by Immigration Department. And secondly, your nominated occupation will need to be listed on the Northern Territory Skilled Occupation Priority List, and also listed on the Immigration's Nominated Occupation List. Within the previous 5 years after you signed this placement agreement, the applicant cannot be an international student or never held a graduate for a 5 visa unless you can prove you have strong link with Northern Territory. Here are some specific definition of concepts. You should have a look. Actually, for overseas applicants, as long as you have not in the 5 years immediately before entering this placement agreement have been an international student or graduate visa holder, or have strong links to other regions of Australia, then you can apply for this program. Here's a suitable applicants who usually will be eligible for MINT program. For example, your age will be from 18 to 45, and also your IELTS test result or PTE result, at least you will need to have 4 of 6, and also you need to have some financial background, strong financial background, because you will need to invest, and also you will need to prove you have sufficient funds to support yourself and your family live in Northern Territory. And also you need to have a nominated occupation, which is on the Northern Territory Priority Occupation List, and prefer to have applicants who have long working experience, preferable to have more than 5 years. And also, if you haven't been an Australian overseas students for the previous 5 years and doesn't have strong links with other states, you are encouraged to apply. And at least you will need to have 50 points for your own EOI points test system. Plus, you can award another 15 points from state government to apply for the 491 visa. That's a minimum requirement. If you have 60 points in total for your own EOI points test system, then you could consider about 190, which is a permanent visa application. Here's some concept of the strong links with other states. For example, if you have lived for more than 12 months in the last 5 years in other region of Australia, you're not eligible to apply for the 190 visa. And if you have any immediate family member who are Australian permanent resident or citizenship and living in other state, then you will not be eligible for 190 visa. Immediate family member, it means your parents, your brothers, sisters, or your children who are PR, who are settled as PR or citizens. Or another concept is like you have worked in other state for more than 12 months in the last 5 years, you will not be eligible for 190 visa. Or you have investment or property more than Australian dollars 100,000 in other states, then you won't be eligible for 190. Or you have received other state or Northern Territories EOI invitation, then you won't be eligible for 190 visa. For any specific questions, I know everyone's different, case by case. If you have any specific situation, please feel free to contact us. We always can talk to state government to make exemptions in some special cases. There have some concept of like you have closely relationship with NT. For example, you have lived in NT for more than 12 months in last 5 years, or you have any family member, immediate family member in NT, or you have worked in NT for more than 6 months, or you have studied in NT and completed a qualification for more than 2 years. This is all considered as closely relationship with NT state. Here's the advantage of MINT. Generally speaking, skilled migrants who can meet the minimum criteria with 65 points in EOI point test will receive state nomination of subclass 190, which is a permanent visa, and the NT state government give priority in processing application under the MINT program. As an Australian permanent resident, you are qualified almost the same government benefits and welfares as Australian citizen, including national Medicare, social security, childcare subsidy, and education allowance. Another key advantage of MINT is that this program have around 265 available occupations, including most of the popular migration occupations, such as accountant, ICT specialist, engineers, nurse, even insurance agent. According to our experience in the last program years, those clients working in the same field, in the field of marketing, human resource, designers, teachings, educations, could apply through this program. Comparing with the policy of other regions in Australia, MINT program is the most concessional program that could help overseas migrants to stay in Australia with your family permanently. Here is the steps of the MINT program. First stage, we will help you to assess your background to make sure you are eligible. And then we will sign the service agreement with you and help you to reserve the quota. At this stage, you will need to be ready to pay our agent fee and also the placement fee, which is 33,000 at this stage. And stage 2, within 60 days from the time you sign the service agreement with past parties, we will help you to launch the state nomination application through our agent portal. And stage 3, at this moment, state government usually they will spend at least 1 or 2 weeks to process your state nomination application. If everything goes well, you will receive a pre-approval, and within 30 days from the pre-approval, you will need to prepare for the investment amount, and we will help you and assist you to finish the investment. Stage 5, we will assist you to prepare all the documents and the materials to help you to process the AML check. For processing the AML check, nowadays it will take around 1 or 2 months to complete this procedure. Once completed, you will receive the EOR invitation from state government straight away. And from that day, you have another 60 days to launch your 190 visa applications with your family. We will help you from the beginning until the end, until you receive the visas. According to the Home Affairs Department, currently processing time of the 190 visas is around 9 months up to 30 months. If your occupation is listed on the priority occupation list, for example, if you are a nurse, if you are a doctor, if you are a mechanical engineer, or developer programs in IT field, you all will receive the priority processing. Here are the fees. In this MINT program, here the fees will be included. First of all, the MINT program, Passpali will charge a placement fee, which is 33,000 Australian dollars at this moment. And the investment amount is Australian dollars 515,000, which 80% will be invested in state government bond, and you can claim it back after 5 years. And then another 20% will be invested in VC funds, and the maximum return could be 15%, and you can claim it back after 10 years. Here is the refund policy of this placement fee. For example, at the end, if your application is refused by the state government, you will be able to claim back 50% of that placement fee. If your visa at the end has been refused by Home Affairs, then for that investment amount, 515,000 Australian dollars, you will be able to return 98%, and this 2% will not be refunded. We actually had a lot of successful cases. We started helping people from Hong Kong back in 2019 to 2020, this financial year. As I mentioned earlier, we have helped 26 applicants in the last financial year, and all of those applicants have received state nomination pre-approval, and most of them had received the EOR invitation and now launched the visa. And for this current financial year, so far we have helped 29 applicants to reserve the quotas of the MINT program, and majority of them have received the pre-approval and are now under processing of AML check. And we will continue helping you guys to process your skill assessment, state nomination, AML check, visa application until the end, until you get the visas. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you some information of NT state. Northern Territory is a vast territory, most of which is tropical and warm all year round. Darwin, the capital of the Northern Territory, is Australia's northernmost coastal city, which Alice Springs is the territory's main inland town. The Northern Territory covers an area of 1.35 million square kilometers and has a population of about 250,000. Darwin, with a population of about 130,000, has year-round high temperatures, about 30 to 32 degrees, and average lows of 19 to 25 degrees. The climate is divided into a dry season, May to October, and a rainy season, November to April. Darwin is known as the gateway to Asia and is the closest major port in Australia to Asia, making it ideal for import and export trade, mining, tourism, livestock, and the government service are the major industry in the Northern Territory economy. Okay, here we have Q&A sections. I would like to introduce Raymond, who are closely working with me on this MINT program. for our clients who already joined this MINT program, you must be very familiar with him. He's actually also a registered immigration agent in our company.
Hi, hello everyone. This is Raymond. So we have collected some frequent asked questions from our potential clients. So today we're going to have these Q&A sessions for Kathleen. So the first question that we received from potential applicants, they say, is it compulsory to stay in NT for at least 3 years? How to calculate the duration of stay? So by exact dates or years?
Yes, as sponsored by state government, you will need to live in the Northern Territory for 3 years after you grant the visa and after you landing. To calculate the time, it's not calculated on a day-to-day basis. It will be considered as most of the time you are resident in NT.
Yes.
For example, to be on the safe side, my opinion will be like 9 months out of 12 months, then you will be considered like majority of the time you are resident in NT.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Another question is like before I apply for the NT MINT programs, if I have a property in other states or territory, do I need to buy a new property in NT to show my commitment?
If you have another property in other states, for example Brisbane or Melbourne, you will be only considered as a 491 visa applicant. But if you are willing to purchase a property in NT and settle the property, then you will be considered as have strong links to Northern Territory as well. Then you will have the chance to apply and get the 190 state nomination.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen. And we also have many potential applicants want to ask, what is the definition of immediate family members for this MINT program?
Immediate family members, it means like your parents, your brothers, sisters, your children. That's all. Like if you have any cousins or uncle, aunties settled in either state as permanent resident visas holders or citizenship, then it's not considered as immediate family member.
For the NT MINT programs, is scoring 65 points for the EOI enough to apply for the MINT programs? If like I can get higher points, the chance will be higher?
For the MINT program, yes, if you have total 65 points, including the 5 points from the state nomination, yes, you will be eligible and deemed to have the state nomination of subclass 190. However, if you have higher points, of course, it will be considered as an advantage. But however, it is, once you sign the placement agreement and pay the placement fee, you will have the quota being reserved. So it is arranged as a first in and a first serve.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. And for the NT MINT program, how much money do I need to have to prove my financial capability to settle in the Northern Territory?
First of all, you will need to get the investment money ready. And for the settlement cost, roughly we consider, for example, if you are applying for a family, like 2 adults, two children, then you will need to have around 65,000 Australian dollars in your bank.
Okay. And we know MINT program is a successful program, and this is the second year for this program. Is it guaranteed this program will keep going?
As far as I know, this program will continue for another 3 years. Total, it's like 5 years. They have signed the 5 years contract.
Okay, and we all know the MINT program is a small program, and the quota for each year is 50.
Yeah.
So if the quota runs out, and what is the arrangement for the applicants who are still interested in this program?
We still can help you to be listed on the wait list. To be on the wait list, you need to sign the placement agreement as well and pay the deposit of placement fee, which is 5,000 of that 33,000. So we can help you to be on the wait list. once the quota is opened again in the new financial year, you will have the quota reserved immediately.
All right, thanks, Kathleen. And after I met all the criteria for this MINT program, is there still a chance that anti-government will reject my application?
I heard these questions many times. Like, if your occupation is on the NT's priority occupation list, and also on the immigration's 190 occupation list, and plus you have total, like yourself will need to have at least 60 points in EOI system, and also you don't have, for example, like the strong links with other states, yes, then you will receive 190 state nomination. In our experience, we have helped all the clients who are able to get 190 state nomination. We have helped them to secure all these state nomination quotas already.
Okay, thank you. And also we have applicants also want to ask if they are like aiming for the 190 visa, is any chance the anti-government will only give them an invitation for 491 instead?
No, they won't. As far as I know, they won't. Like I just mentioned, if you have sufficient points, if you meet the requirement, if you don't have strong links with other states, then you will get 190.
Okay. Yes, another question is that many potential applicants want to ask is, after finishing the investment, how is the AML check-in procedure? How long is it going to take for this procedure?
AML check, actually, it's kind of checking whether your investment money, the income source is legal or not. That's what they do. So actually, for our clients who deal with us, you all understand, we actually will speak to you about this at the beginning, at the very beginning. We will guide you to prepare all the documents, and we will tell you what to do, what not to do, so which will help you successfully and smoothly pass the AML check.
Okay. Yeah, and another question is, after the applicants got the invitation from NT to apply for the visa, is there any chance that the Department of Home Affairs will reject their visa applications? Like, if this happens, what is the arrangement for their investment? Actually,
we haven't got any refusal rates yet of this MINT program, because actually skilled migration visa, it's quite straightforward. Before we take your case, we will carefully assess your background to make sure you are meeting the requirement. So we're not going to waste your time and your money. Unless, for example, if you get state nomination approved, but at the end, for example, your criminal have some records or your health got some problems, yes, then there's a concern. Maybe you will have the visa refused. In the worst scenario, if it's rejected, you will have 98% of that investment money refunded, and 2% will not be refunded.
Okay, thank you. And it brings to our last questions, like when the applicants apply for the visa, how long does the Department of Home Affairs process the visa until an outcome is released?
Home Affairs, actually, the processing time is changing day by day. Currently, it will take around 9 to 13 months to get it processed. If your occupation is listed on the priority occupation list, then you will receive priority processing. And also, we will help you to urge immigration to assess your case. Like we helped some clients already from Hong Kong. Like we have some IT clients, we have some engineer clients who already received the PR in a very short processing time. Thank you, Raymond, for helping us with the Q&A section today.
Oh, thank you.
And the final section, I would like to invite Zell, an Australian CPA, to give us a comprehensive introduction of Australian tax system. Here's Zell, who is an Australian CPA, who is very experienced in accounting and the tax system. Hi Zell, thank you for coming today. I have 9 questions for you.
Yeah.
First one, what is the definition of an Australian tax citizen? How does it differ from an Australian citizen?
Australian tax, we call it Australian tax residents, not Australian tax citizen.
Okay.
The difference between Australian tax resident and resident is between tax treatment and for your side is immigration purpose. For Australian tax resident, there's a lot of tests you need to do to define if the people is will be treated as Australian tax resident for the tax system in Australia. That is not 100% relevant to the residency for immigration purpose.
What is the difference between PR and a TR in taxation? Is there any difference in global taxation?
Okay. In the tax system, for the temporary visa holder, that's an exemption for the foreign income. Basically what it means, if you are already a tax resident but you're holding a temporary visa and living in Australia, your overseas income is exempt from Australia income tax system. That's basically the main difference between permanent residents and temporary resident visa holders.
Is there any difference in global taxation as well?
In other countries, that may be not difference, but for it's only within Australia. Australia is taxed for all the income from overseas if you are a tax resident. But when you're holding a temporary visa, the overseas income is exempt.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, understand. And next one, if one of the parents arrived in Australia while other state in Hong Kong, how will the tax be applied? That's something a lot of people asking me.
Okay.
For example, the wife coming to Australia with the children, and the husband is still living in Hong Kong.
Okay. In Australia tax system, we treat every individual separately. So at the same time, the husband can be a non-Australian tax resident. In the meanwhile, the wife can be Australian tax resident. That's which will be determined by a lot of other facts. One is where do they live for the most of the time in the tax year, and also other facts will determine which one will be their tax residency place.
Okay, all right, understand. So how to minimize tax with better tax planning before become a permanent resident?
To minimize the tax, because to my understanding, the tax rate in Hong Kong is much lower than Australia if your income is over 180,000 per annum. So before come to Australia and stay here, maybe what you can do is reorganize the assets and investment in Hong Kong, put under someone who is not Australia, who won't be Australia tax residents. So in the future, those investments won't be taxed in Australia. That's probably one main thing you can do before come to Australia.
Okay, if a client will get PR visa after half a year, what are the things they will need to prepare for the tax planning today?
First, for all the investments, all the assets overseas, it's better to do valuation at the date before they come to Australia. Okay. So after they become Australian tax residents, when they dispose of those assets, they have to pay capital gain tax in Australia. But with the valuation, the capital gain will calculate based on the value at that date. Yeah.
Yeah, so that saves. And the next question is, any suggestion if I hold property in Hong Kong or sell it out before I move to Australia? what do I need to do for the tax planning about this?
Same as the last question. To do evaluation is the first thing need to do. Second, if the asset is not disposed or sold to transferred to someone else, there's no tax need to pay. So if the asset is intended to hold it for a longer time, other than to do the valuation, there's not much else is necessary to do.
Okay, all right. And if I got all of the MPF from Hong Kong, it's like superannuation MPF, and bring it to Australia, I need to pay tax of it?
No, only the income made in the tax year need to be taxed. So for all the assets or any cash or which you already made before you become Australian tax residents is not taxed in Australia.
Okay, that's good. And for those of the existing saving insurance, life insurance, after finished and get it back money, I need to pay any income tax of that?
It depends the components included in the payout. So sometimes in the insurance payout, there maybe includes some interest or other components as income, but the principal part is not taxed.
Okay.
So it really depends, and the best way is keep all the documents to see what includes in the payments.
Sure. And if I have family member in Hong Kong, they pay money to Australian bank account to support for my living, do I need to pay tax?
As I said before, it's only income you made need to be taxed. But the thing need to pay attention is you need to keep all the documents to make sure you can very clearly explain where the money come from. Tax office may ask you the question if you can't explain, make it clear, they may still tax you as income.
Okay, so the point is you need to keep all the income clearly sourced. So the definition basically will be before you become Australian tax resident, then you don't have to worry about that. For any specific questions if you have, we would like to help you to deliver to Zell, and then he will be able to answer you if you have any more questions. And thank you, Zell, today for coming to join us. And thank you for everyone who joined us for this seminar today about the MINT program. If you have any questions about your case, or if you would like to have more material or more information, please feel free to contact us. And we also have a Hong Kong office, so if you would like to contact our Hong Kong local team, please let us know. We will introduce you. Thank you so much.